for mistakes you're making with protein that are stalling your weight loss. Struggling to see the scale move despite loading up on protein? It's a common frustration that leaves many feeling stuck and confused, but the real issue might be hiding in plain sight. Fitness coach Melissa recently broke it down in a candid Instagram post, reminding us that protein is a powerhouse for fat loss and muscle gain, yet simply cranking up your intake won't magically melt away pounds. As she puts it, you need a smarter approach to your calories and protein to truly make progress. This insight comes from her experience helping countless women navigate weight loss pitfalls, and it's a wake-up call for anyone banking solely on protein. But here's where it gets controversial. While protein is crucial, some argue that obsessing over it can overshadow other lifestyle factors. Let's dive into the 4 key mistakes Melissa highlights, with tips to fix them, explained in simple terms for anyone just starting out. First off, not all proteins are created equal, and that's often where things go wrong. Many people opt for fatty protein sources like ribeye steak or full-fat cheese when they're trying to slim down, but these can pack in extra calories from fat that sabotage your efforts. Instead of helping you feel full and satisfied, they might leave you consuming more calories than you realize. To clarify this for beginners, think about it like this: lean proteins, such as chicken breast or turkey, give you a higher protein punch with fewer calories, so you get more bang for your buck in terms of nutrition. For example, swapping out a fatty cut of beef for grilled chicken not only cuts down on calories but also increases the volume of food you can eat, which can help with portion control and keep hunger at bay. Melissa suggests making these swaps a habit, and it's a small change that can add up to big savings in your daily calorie count. But here's where it gets controversial: many fitness enthusiasts focus only on protein and ignore the bigger picture of total energy balance. If you're not keeping an eye on your overall calorie intake, even a protein-heavy diet won't lead to weight loss because your body needs to be in a calorie deficit to shed fat. In simple terms, a calorie deficit means consuming fewer calories than you burn, which is the fundamental driver of weight loss, no matter how much protein you're eating. Melissa stresses the importance of tracking everything, not just protein, to ensure you're in that deficit. For instance, you might be hitting your protein goals but unknowingly exceeding your calorie limit with snacks or larger portions. To make this easier for newcomers, consider using a food diary app to log meals. It can reveal surprising patterns, like how a seemingly healthy smoothie might be tipping the scales with hidden sugars. And this is the part most people miss: while protein supports muscle repair and satiety, it's the calorie equation that ultimately dictates results, sparking debates among experts who question whether strict tracking is always necessary or if intuitive eating could play a role. Now, let's talk about the convenience trap: leaning too heavily on protein shakes and bars. They're quick and easy, sure, but Melissa points out that they often fall short in making you feel full, and some bars are misleadingly marketed as high-protein when they're loaded with sugars and fats. The issue here is that whole food sources provide better satisfaction and additional nutrients that shakes can't match. For example, eating a piece of baked salmon or a bowl of Greek yogurt gives you protein along with fiber, vitamins, and minerals that help regulate hunger hormones, keeping you fuller longer and reducing the chance of overeating later. What to do instead? Prioritize whole foods like fish, lean meats, egg whites mixed into omelets, or low-fat dairy options. This approach not only boosts your protein intake more effectively but also supports overall health, as these foods are less processed and can improve digestion and energy levels. And this is the part most people miss: while shakes have their place for busy days, relying on them too much might actually hinder your weight loss by not addressing the psychological aspect of eating, like the satisfaction from chewing and enjoying a meal. Finally, a big mistake is assuming certain foods are protein powerhouses when they are not. Foods like peanut butter, beans, quinoa, or cheese might sound protein-rich, but most of their calories come from fats or carbs, not protein itself. This can lead to consuming more calories without getting the protein benefits you expect. To help beginners grasp this, Melissa recommends a straightforward rule: look for foods that offer at least 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. Take Greek yogurt as an example. It often has around 15 grams of protein for just 80 calories, making it a true high-protein choice, whereas peanut butter might have only 4 to 5 grams per 100 calories, with the rest from fat. By focusing on this ratio, you can make smarter selections, like choosing lentils over rice for a meal, which not only increases protein density but also adds fiber to aid digestion. But here's where it gets controversial. Some nutritionists debate whether this strict metric is the best way to evaluate foods, arguing that the overall nutrient profile, including healthy fats, matters more for long-term health than just protein per calorie. Still, this tip can be a game changer for quick wins in weight loss. Remember, this advice is based on Melissa's Instagram post from July 10, 2025, and it's meant to inspire, not dictate your journey. If you're dealing with weight loss challenges, it's always smart to chat with a healthcare professional for personalized guidance. Now, what do you think? Have you tried increasing protein only to hit a wall, or do you believe there's more to weight loss than calories and macros? Share your experiences in the comments. Let's discuss whether these tips resonate or if you have a different take that could spark some healthy debate. Can too much protein be bad for you? Understanding protein intake for student athletes. Imagine taking a supplement that's supposed to boost your athletic performance, only to discover that it could be silently harming your body. This is the shocking reality that many student athletes face when it comes to protein supplements. As these products become increasingly popular, it's essential to understand the risks associated with excessive protein intake. But here's where it gets controversial. While protein is often touted as a miracle nutrient, having too much of it can be downright dangerous. According to Dr. Cesar Argels, Program Director for the Primary Care Sports Medicine Program at SIU Medicine, consuming excessive protein can put a significant strain on your kidneys, potentially leading to serious health issues. And this is the part most people miss. Even if you're a healthy individual who doesn't regularly visit the doctor, your kidneys could be compromised without you even realizing it. The lack of obvious symptoms makes it crucial to monitor your protein intake, especially if you're using supplements before or after exercise. So, what's the ideal balance? Dr. Argels emphasizes that both too much and too little protein can be harmful, as the body needs a sufficient amount to function correctly. It's also important to note that protein is abundant in many foods, including meats and vegetables, so if you're taking supplements, you need to be aware of the protein you're already consuming through your diet. As long as you're mindful of your intake, both protein supplements and natural proteins can have benefits. But here's the thing, the FDA does have regulations on protein supplements, including how they can be advertised, which raises questions about the accuracy of some supplement labels. This sparks an important debate. Should there be stricter regulations on protein supplements to protect consumers, or do individuals have a personal responsibility to educate themselves on proper protein intake? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this issue. Do you think protein supplements are safe, or do you believe they pose a significant risk to our health? Share your opinions in the comments below. 6 common protein mistakes you're making, and how to fix them. You may be underestimating the truth about peanut butter, along with 5 other common protein-related errors. Navigating the complexities of protein consumption can be quite challenging. It's not solely about the quantity of protein you consume, the timing of your intake and the sources from which you derive it are equally important. Depending on various factors such as your overall health, age, and activity levels, your protein requirements might be higher than you realize. Protein is a fundamental component of our muscles, essential organs, and skin cells, and it plays a crucial role in regulating our metabolism, appetite, and immune response. While our bodies can synthesize some amino acids, the building blocks of protein, there are others that we can only obtain through our diet. Ankozil, a registered dietitian nutritionist at Colorado State University, emphasizes, we store carbohydrates and fats, but we cannot store protein, which is why it's essential to consume it daily. If we don't get enough protein over an extended period, our bodies may start breaking down muscle mass to meet our protein needs, which is something we definitely want to avoid. After consulting with experts and reviewing various studies, we've pinpointed several common mistakes people make regarding protein consumption. Here are 6 significant pitfalls to be aware of. 1. Insufficient protein at breakfast. Consider your meal patterns throughout the day. Are you loading up on protein primarily at dinner? Many individuals tend to consume minimal protein during breakfast, slightly more at lunch, and then a protein-rich dinner, as noted by Kozil. Research suggests that Americans typically derive about half of their daily protein intake from dinner alone. This trend is partly due to the prevalence of protein-rich foods like chicken, burgers, and steak at dinner, while breakfast staples such as bagels, cereals, and pastries are often low in protein and high in refined carbohydrates. This is problematic because protein is essential for promoting feelings of fullness and stabilizing blood sugar levels. Skipping protein at breakfast can lead to increased hunger and cravings later in the day, making you more likely to reach for unhealthy snacks like donuts or chips. Clinical trials have shown that individuals who consume high-protein breakfasts report feeling fuller and are less likely to snack throughout the day compared to those who eat lower-protein breakfasts. Kozil frequently encounters clients who struggle with constant snacking or cravings for sweets. Once we focus on increasing their protein intake at breakfast, many find it transformative. It empowers them to regain control over their food choices, she explains. While individual protein needs vary, a general guideline is to aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. If you're currently consuming less, consider gradually increasing your intake. For instance, if you usually have a bagel, try adding 1 or 2 scrambled eggs. If muffins are your go-to, consider switching to a cup of plain Greek yogurt topped with nuts, seeds, and berries. Other excellent breakfast options include cottage cheese, hard-boiled eggs, or breakfast burritos filled with scrambled eggs, beans, and cheese or avocado. You might also whip up a smoothie using a high-quality protein powder derived from egg whites, whey, soy, or pea protein. 2. Assuming peanut butter is a high-protein food You've likely heard that peanut butter is a great source of protein, with many brands proudly advertising their protein content. However, a recent report published in a leading sports nutrition journal cautions that peanut butter may not be as protein-rich as many believe. The report highlights that peanut butter is an energy-dense food, meaning it contains significantly more fat and calories per ounce compared to other protein sources like eggs, Greek yogurt, lean meats, and fish. While peanut butter is indeed nutritious, offering fiber, vitamins, minerals, and heart-healthy fats, it contains at least twice as many grams of fat as it does protein. Therefore, it should be viewed more as a source of healthy fats rather than a primary protein source, according to Jose Antonio, a co-author of the report and a professor at Nova Southeastern University in Florida. If you check the nutrition label on any jar of peanut butter, you'll notice that it's predominantly fat, Antonio explains. While the fat is beneficial, don't deceive yourself into thinking you're getting a substantial amount of high-quality protein. For reference, 2 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter, equivalent to 1 serving, contains about 7 grams of protein, 16 grams of fat, and 190 calories. The report's authors advise those who use peanut butter to meet their protein needs to consume it in moderation due to its high caloric density, as excessive intake could lead to unintended weight gain. Peanut butter is healthy, but calories still count, Antonio warns. If you want to gain weight, eating a lot of peanut butter will do the trick, but it's not an ideal protein source. 3. Inadequate protein intake for older adults According to the National Academy of Medicine, the average adult requires about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, which translates to approximately 54 grams of protein daily for a sedentary adult. This amount is merely the minimum needed to prevent malnutrition. Athletes or those who exercise regularly should aim for higher protein intake, ranging from 0.5 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Pregnant women in their second or third trimester also require more protein, about 0.5 grams per pound. However, many people overlook the fact that protein needs also vary with age. As we age, our muscle mass naturally declines, particularly after the age of 60. Additionally, our muscles become less responsive to protein, making it more challenging to build and repair muscle tissue, a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. As we age, we lose muscle mass, making it crucial to protect what we have, says Katie Dodd, a registered dietitian nutritionist who runs a blog focused on nutrition for seniors. Muscle is essential for everyday activities, from getting out of bed to walking down the stairs. To combat age-related muscle loss and anabolic resistance, older adults should consume more than the recommended dietary allowance for protein. Dodd suggests that individuals aged 65 and older aim for approximately 0.45 to 0.54 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which equates to about 68 to 81 grams of protein daily for an average senior weighing 150 pounds. Research indicates that a significant number of older adults do not meet their protein requirements, with one study revealing that up to 30% of older adults in the US, Canada, the UK, and the Netherlands fail to consume the recommended 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight. For excessive consumption of red and processed meats Research indicates that chicken and red meat are the primary sources of protein in the American diet, followed closely by dairy products, processed meats, refined grains, and eggs. However, processed meats such as hot dogs, bacon, sausages, and deli meats are often high in sodium, saturated fats, and preservatives. Red meats, including beef, pork, lamb, and veal, are also rich in saturated fats, which can elevate LDL cholesterol levels associated with heart disease. High consumption of red and processed meats has been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal cancer, which has seen a rise among younger adults. The American Institute for Cancer Research recommends limiting red meat intake to no more than 3 portions per week, roughly 12 to 18 ounces of cooked meat, and advises consuming little to no processed meats. 5. Neglecting seafood in your diet Seafood is among the most nutritious high-protein foods available, packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients that our bodies require but cannot produce on their own. A 3.5-ounce serving of wild salmon contains at least 22 grams of protein, equivalent to nearly 4 eggs. Health experts recommend consuming at least 2 servings of seafood each week, yet a staggering 90% of adults in the US do not meet this guideline. If you fall into this category, you might be missing out on significant health benefits. Studies have shown that regular seafood consumption supports brain and heart health and reduces the risk of premature death. A meta-analysis involving around 670,000 adults found that those who consumed the most seafood had a lower likelihood of dying early from any cause. Specifically, individuals who ate half a serving of fish daily, approximately 2 ounces, were 12% less likely to experience early mortality compared to those who consumed little or no seafood. The healthiest seafood options include wild and farmed salmon, sardines, anchovies, and Atlantic mackerel, rainbow trout, mussels, oysters. 6. Overlooking protein-rich plant sources Another excellent source of protein that you might be neglecting is pulses, which encompass beans, peas, and lentils. Pulses are not only rich in protein but also packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber, a nutrient that supports gut health, aids in weight loss, and improves blood sugar and cholesterol levels.